工智能发展，包括推动成立15间 InnoHK 人工智能和机器人的研发中心，建设人工智能超算中心，并且呢推出人工智能资助计划，资助本地大学研发机构和企业利用超算中心的算力，从而呢推动科研突破和应用。我们欣喜地看到，自香港创新科技发展蓝图颁布以来，发展创科已经成为香港各界的广泛共识。投资创科就是投资未来。香港需要丰富的创投融资渠道，欢迎更多的社会资本共同参与，构建政产学研投紧密合作，令本港的创科生态环境呢就更加活跃，培育更多的独角兽。我们正在有序的落实蓝图的各项策略，因地制宜的发展香港的新质生产力，推动新型工业化，发展数字经济和绿色科技，为本港经济发展增添新动能，也为投资者带来新的主题。我们希望呢，在香港建设国际创科中心的同时，巩固香港国际金融中心，实现香港金融中心和国际中心、创科中心的相互成就。欢迎大家积极投身创科，投资创科，共同携手为香港赢得这场竞赛，服务香港和国家的高质量发展。谢谢。
接下来，让我们以热烈的掌声欢迎香港科技園公司行政總裁黃克強先生為我們致辭。而家有請香港科技園公司行政總裁黃克強先生交流對我哋致辭。
大家好，尊敬嘅我講廣東話嚇，尊敬嘅各專員徐博士。各位朋友，大家好！好榮幸今日能夠喺 SenseChat 粵語版發佈會暨商湯科技10週年致慶典禮上面，同大家相聚。今日能夠見證到商湯成長同埋發展嘅重要時刻，我感到無比嘅激動同埋自豪。加入香港科技園亦超過差唔多8年啦，我有幸接觸到形形色色嘅中外嘅初創公司。佢哋有啲係醉心於人工智能，有啲致力金融科技，有啲轉型環境科學，有啲鍾情生物科技。而喺呢啲企業嘅成功故事背後，我都深刻咁體會得到創新為本、砥礪前行係佢哋共有嘅靈魂嘅特質。正如商湯科技咁樣，10年前創立嘅時候已經進駐我哋嘅科學園呢度。自此，科技園公司成為咗商湯萌芽嘅成長嘅良伴。喺呢10年之間，商湯始終秉承住一個創新嘅精神，不畏艱難，勇往直前。佢哋將人工智能技術與同埋社會各國深度嘅融合，不僅開創咗一個又一個嘅新嘅科技嘅先河，更加喺社會進步嘅道路上面留下咗深深嘅足跡。我知道稍後商湯會再次為大家帶嚟多個產品嘅重大嘅更新，實在令我雀躍同埋期待。相信呢啲科技能夠促進社會生產力嘅可持續發展，為各行各業帶嚟變革嘅機會，將人工智能嘅智慧火花點亮到社會每一個角落，為我哋帶嚟更好嘅生活嘅體驗。其中商湯研發嘅語言大模型已經獲得好多政府機構嘅使用，並且喺粵語方面表現出色，與普通嘅聊天機械人唔同。呢個語言模型可以適應自己嘅資料，並且進行微調，具有更高嘅準確性同埋精確性，而且可以直接使用，針對特定嘅目標進行定製。講到商湯，大家都知道佢哋係香港港產嘅獨角獸。冇錯，喺科技園公司支持嘅10多間獨角獸當中，商湯係首家科學園裏面成功上市嘅企業。佢唔單止係香港本土嘅企業，亦都係科技初創企業嘅成功典範。 相當嘅成就令人鼓舞，同時激勵住創新科技生態圈嘅其他初創企業家向更高更遠嘅目標進發。相當嘅始創團隊由一群香港孵化嘅學者組成，當中包括已故嘅香港中文大學工程院傑出院士湯曉柯教授，同埋佢領導嘅研發團隊實驗室嘅一班學生，當中嘅行政總裁徐立亦都係中文大學2010年嘅博士生。喺呢個日新月異嘅時代，我深信堅持原則係推進世界前行不竭嘅動力。喺商湯科技呢位已經步入10週年紀念嘅企業身上，我未見到大企業病或者係漸進式衰退。相反地，我見到嘅一個勇於追夢、滿懷激情嘅商湯，不斷為大家帶嚟新嘅驚喜、新嘅體驗、新嘅動感，不斷刷新我哋嘅期待。呢樣嘅咁樣嘅精神，可以講係實難能可貴，令人讚賞。我相信商湯嘅活力同佢珍惜人才嘅企業文化有關。商湯致力於培育本地嘅科研人才，係一個人才匯聚嘅平台，為香港輸送咗一批又一批才華洋溢嘅創新者，成為咗孕育創新者嘅重要基地，無疑為我哋嘅創科生態圈注入咗強大嘅生命力。10年內，商湯成功地凝聚同埋磨礪咗眾多嘅業內嘅頂尖人才，佢哋用自己嘅才華同埋熱情喺香港人工智能行業中探索拼搏，不斷練力同埋成長，敢於開拓人工智能行業未知之地。各位，人工智能嘅時代已經開始，無數嘅應用需要強大嘅算力嚟到支持。數碼港同埋科技園分別會喺香港建造我哋嘅超算中心。我哋科技園公司嘅超算中心會坐落喺將軍澳工業村創新園，計劃今年下半年就會啟動，推動人工智能發展嘅新機已經開始。各位，10年來，我哋見證咗一間商湯跨越一個又一個嘅技術高峰，不斷突破技術邊界。香港科技園亦都將一如以往支持初創公司成長，如同我哋支持商湯一樣，為初創企業提供獨有嘅發展機遇，透過香港獨特嘅優勢，無縫咁樣拓展到大灣區、中國內地以及海外嘅市場。最後祝願商湯同埋各位追夢者夙願得償，多謝各位。
接下來有請商湯科技首席執行官徐立博士為我們致歡迎詞。而家有請商湯科技首席執行官徐立博士為我哋致歡迎詞。
尊敬的葛博士Albert， 各位来宾，各位媒体朋友刚才葛博士和 Albert 提到的关于人才，关于我们从这个科学园的这个创立，我其实感慨万千今天也特别感谢能够邀请一众的贵宾见证我们商汤的一个重要的时刻。其实2014年我们就从科技园刚才提到2个免费的工位开始。踏上了人工智能的创业之旅，其后呢迅速发展成为了这个人工智能的软件公司的标杆。那么21年的12月30日，我们同样在这里就这个场地成功登陆了港交所，也成为本港上市的第一个 AI 创新科技的企业。而之后呢，也带动了一大批的这个创科企业登陆港交所。那么2024年其实我们迈入了第10个年头，我们的成长离不开香港创科人才的底蕴也离不开完善的金融生态，更加离不开香港国际化的视野和格局。那么跨时代的科技带来的产业发展，往往是无先例可循的。那么通用人工智能技术的发展，将重塑很多行业，把不可能变为可能。而重新定义行业的过程，必将经过模式的来回探索，必须持续的大规模的技术投入，再有商业模式的打磨这本是一条 非常艰难的创业之路。刚才葛博士也提到，我们上市的时候这个用了这个王安石的《登宝山记》的这样的一个名句，这个失之其尾，贵怪非常之怪，藏在于显也，而人之罕之焉。说的就是要能走下去，其实是需要莫大的勇气。那么商汤能走下去，靠的是人才的深厚底蕴、系统化的研发的实力以及10年的商业化的经验。那么以及我们创始人汤小豪教授定下的2个字坚持。那如今恰逢生成式的人工智能产业落地，百花齐放。去年我们生成式人工智能板块迅速突破10个亿的营收，也是从无到有商汤第一个最快速超过10个亿营收的板块，以基础设施、算力、服务以应用在驱动我们的集成研发。而我们认为，应用的规模化是人工智能落地的核心，也正是商汤以及一众人工智能企业的机会。我们大家都知道，说前年的 ChatGPT 成为了行业的共识。这不只是一个技术路线 GPT 的成功也不是 GPT 的技术的突破事实上，突破发生在2018年真正是因为叠加了 Chat 这个聊天的应用才唤起了大家的认知共识，最终成就了家喻户晓的 ChatGPT 时刻。那么我们的机会就在于深耕应用，打穿这个行业的闭环。当然了，生成式的人工智能大模型融合了广泛的基础知识，这就会带来地域文化的差异。英伟达的 CEO 詹森黄屡次提到，每个国家都要有自己的人工智能大模型，用来保护自己的文化。那么事实上，这个不只是保护文化，应用落地更需要的是大模型服务于本地的文化。那我们借着这个机会推出日日新 SenseNova 5.0的粤语版模型，希望就能够填补这方面的空白这对于商汤呢是特别有意义的事情因为我们生于此，长于此。10年淬炼，商汤又站在了新的起点上。我们希望和在座的各位以及生态合作伙伴一起用人工智能基础设施和模型能力，推动更多的应用落地，去刷新大众对于通用人工智能的认知。那么商汤始终坚信坚持原创，让人工智能去引领人类的进步。那最后呢，用我上市的时候说的一句话我们希望和我们生态一起，用商汤的白点热，耀出人工智能的千分光。谢谢大家。
现在我们再次邀請葛明博士和 Albert 上台，為商湯科技成立10週年致敬，進行簡單而隆重的啟動儀式。我哋而家再次邀請葛明博士同 Albert 上台，同徐立博士一齊為商湯科技成立10週年致慶，舉行一個簡單而隆重嘅啟動儀式。有請3位。大家现在看到的是一幅别具意义的画作，描绘了香港蓬勃发展的景象。我们在台上的3位主礼嘉宾手上都有一张象征各个领域的图片，我们会请他们把这些图片拼到画中，庆祝商汤科技立足香港10週年，也寓意各界继续紧密合作，共同推动香港創科未來的美好願景。請3位嘉賓喺倒數3聲之後，將圖片放入畫中。3、2、1。 这是为商湯科技10周年设计的 logo， 也在此祝愿商湯科技在未来更多的10年，為我們創造更多引領人類美好生活的 AI 技術。祝願商湯科技喺未來更多嘅10年，為我哋創造更多引領人類美好生活嘅 AI 技術。感謝3位為我們主持啟動禮，以及為商湯科技10周年 logo 捐贈，請歡迎就座。跟住落嚟就係令人期待 SenseChat 粵語版正式發布，同埋其他日日新 SenseNova 5.0產品嘅演示環節。接下來，我們有請商湯科技聯合創始人林達華教授為我們介紹商湯科技的大模型。而家有請商湯科技聯合創始人林達華教授為我哋介紹商湯科技嘅大模型。有請林教授。
首先非常荣幸能够代表商湯科技向在座的各位介绍我们的 SenseChat 大模型的粤语版。那因为这样的一个大模型是粤语版，而且在座的很多是香港本地的朋友，所以今天我將使用粵語同大家介紹。正如頭先郭明博士提到，香港政府喺2022年就正式公布咗香港創新科技發展嘅藍圖。咁亦都係希望推動創新科技喺本地成為新嘅產業發展嘅支柱。喺整個發展藍圖裏邊，人工智能係其中非常核心同埋重要嘅一環。商湯科技係發軔於香港、成長於香港嘅人工智能嘅獨角獸。咁喺過去嘅10年發展裏邊，亦都一直深耕於人工智能嘅發展，亦都希望能夠使用我哋嘅人工智能技術，可以為香港嘅市民提供更好嘅服務。喺過去2年人工智能嘅發展裏邊，有一個非常重要嘅轉變，就係大模型正式成為新一代嘅人工智能發展嘅最基本嘅動力。咁商湯科技嘅大模型嘅話咧，亦都係考慮到同香港嘅語言同文化嘅結合，所以推出今日正式同大家介紹嘅粵語大模型。香港開埠100多年以嚟，華洋雜處喺咁多年嘅發展，形成咗自己非常之獨特嘅語言特點同埋文化。比如講喺一張幻燈片裏邊，大家見到嘅《射雕英雄傳》、李小龍、天星小輪，都構成咗香港市民值得驕傲嘅共同嘅回憶。咁我自己本人咧，亦都係睇住呢啲電視劇成長起嚟。我喺香港有非常長期嘅生活，亦都好熟悉香港嘅呢啲建築同埋飲食嘅文化。咁我喺香港生活裏邊有一個非常重要嘅體會，就係佢有好獨特嘅呢種語言文化，係同整體嘅呢個英語啊，或者係其他嘅一啲語言文化有好唔同嘅一個特點。而最近呢2年發展起上嚟嘅大模型，其實代表嘅就係對一個世界嘅知識、語言、文化體系嘅一個融合，所以係有非常之強嘅一個文化嘅背景喺背後嘅。咁大家都知道，喺我哋一波開大模型嘅浪潮裏邊，一個好著名嘅一個機構就係美國嘅 OpenAI 啊。咁唔使我講太多，大家都覺得佢係一個引領科技發展潮流嘅一個企業。但係我哋睇翻佢喺香港文化同語言嘅理解上面舉2個例子。第一個例子講咧就係叫人磅水應該點做。 磅水呢個字，我相信好多在座嘅香港朋友應該都係理解係咩意思，俾人俾錢。但係咧就係 OpenAI 佢冇嘅，佢係完全係 get 唔到呢個意思嘅，佢就會話要有幾多水，要大量嘅提供供水服務嘅公司去完成呢個操作，即係完全係理解唔到呢種文化。咁我哋試嘅或者講得磅水呢個詞特別係太過本土，我哋其實香港有一個我哋好多嘅一個過去嘅整個電影文化、電視文化嘅發展咧，好多世界著名嘅人星啊，比如講呢度圖上嘅呢一位，我相信在座冇人話唔識得佢。咁 to my surprise， 我去問 OpenAI 問 GPT-4 啊，呢位係邊位？但係佢話無法識別圖中嘅人物是誰。呢個亦都係其實係 to my surprise， 佢代表嘅唔係話 OpenAI 嘅 GPT-4 佢技術能力唔得，而係講佢完全係冇去重視我哋香港嘅本土語言同文化嘅特點。所以為咗服務香港市場，其實香港市場都係商湯科技一直高度重視嘅一個市場啊，所以我哋專門基於香港嘅語言同埋文化嘅特點，正式推出日日新5.0粵語版。咁我哋喺上一個月4月13號喺上海係發布咗日日新5.0嘅通用嘅系列。咁呢個系列我哋非常自豪咁講，佢係我哋國家發展出嚟嘅首個喺公開嘅評測裏邊超過 OpenAI 嘅 GPT-4 Turbo 嘅大模型。咁當然啦，即係超過 GPT-4 Turbo 呢件事，唔係我哋自己講就係話超過。佢係要依賴於真正嘅第三方嘅權威嘅評測機構，佢哋嘅檢驗先有確認到呢件事。咁喺中文大模型領域咧，其實有兩個最有代表性同最有影響力嘅 benchmark， 一個咧係叫做 SuperCLUE， 另外一個咧就係 OpenCompass。如果大家有留意呢個領域嘅話咧，其實佢哋呢兩個機構都會係公共機構嚟嘅。就會定期都會發布好多嘅一啲評測嘅榜單啊。咁其實呢一個係一個叫閉卷考試，即係佢評測嘅時候有幾萬條題目，但係我哋完全未見過。咁我哋測出嚟喺 SuperCLUE 裏邊 SenseChat V5 係第一個中文嘅大模型係真正超過 GPT-4 Turbo。咁喺另一個其實結果係啱啱出嚟嘅就 OpenCompass 嘅基準，佢又係分咗主觀同客觀兩種唔同嘅評測嘅方法啊。咁喺兩個方法裏邊咧，喺其中一個主觀嘅評測裏邊，佢係超過咗 GPT-4 Turbo， 正在逼近 OpenAI 啱啱發布嘅 GPT-4o 啊。咁喺客觀嘅評測裏邊，甚至已經係超過咗係 GPT-4o 嘅。咁呢種表現嘅話咧，除咗一方面係在於佢有確實係非常之強嘅基礎嘅語言能力、推理能力，好重要嘅一點就係佢對於中國嘅語言文化嘅理解係遠遠超過 OpenAI 發展出嚟嘅模型。咁呢度係一個佢嘅主要嘅亮點啦，包括佢係一個基於混合專家架構就 Image of Matrix 嘅一個大模型6001參數。咁成個模型係基於10個trillion 嘅 tokens 嚟訓練，係融合咗大量嘅中文嘅呢個文化同埋知識，亦都支持超過20萬字嘅上下文嘅輸入，使得你可以通過呢個模型去解讀非常之長嘅書籍或者係文檔啊。咁佢喺通過評測裏邊，頭先嗰個結果大家會睇到就係佢係多個唔同嘅維度，包括知識、推理、數學、代碼等，都係超過咗 GPT-4 Turbo。咁商湯科技基於我哋一個咁強勁嘅大模型嘅基礎，結合對於香港嘅語言文化嘅一個深入嘅理解，做咗專門嘅面向粵語嘅一個訓練啊，形成咗今日嘅日日新粵語大模型。咁接落嚟嘅話咧，會俾大家睇幾個例子啊。咁我哋商湯科技其實我哋發展嘅目標唔係話對比其他嘅本地嘅競爭對手，我哋一直都係以 OpenAI 作為我哋最重要嘅要去 對標嘅一個目標啊，所以我哋所有嘅一個 example 去對比都係同 OpenAI 嘅 GPT-4 嚟做對比。咁第一個咧，每一個其實大家睇到嗰個問題嘅話咧，香港嘅朋友應該都會知道係咩意思。第一件事啊 ，call 白車打咩 number？ 咁大家睇下。咁GPT-4咧，佢就話白車香港通常只係的士分成紅的、綠的、藍的，完全係理解唔到咩叫白車。咁SenseChat 咧嘅粵語版其實佢就好簡短，但係大家會即刻睇到喺香港，如果你叫救護車，所以佢通常稱嘅白車，所以直接理解到白車喺香港嘅文化環境裏邊係叫做救護車，亦都知道打咩 number 其實係要問嘅係電話號碼。咁第二個例子裏邊嘅話咧，我哋叫人磅水應該係點做啊？頭先嘅一個例子。咁GPT-4咧，其實會講緊話你要準備一個盛水嘅容器啊，準備一把秤啊等等，真係用水嚟去理解磅水，好直白咁去理解呢個事情。咁但係我哋嘅大模型咧，係真正能夠理解到喺香港嘅語境裏邊磅水嘅實質嘅含義，即係話叫人俾錢。咁嘅話咧，你就教你點樣做啦，要講明、解釋原因同埋尊重對方嘅決定，係其中一個比較graceful嘅方法去叫人去攞錢。咁我哋嘅模型除咗直接嘅語言嘅對話之外咧，亦都係有一個多模態嘅一個能力，即係話佢唔單止可以認到字啦，亦都可以認識圖片同埋理解圖片裏邊嘅內容。頭先一個例子啊，劉德華。咁佢問圖片中是誰？咁佢好直接回答啊，圖片中嘅人係劉德華，咁啊同埋亦都係有佢嘅一啲生平嘅介紹係提供到俾用戶嘅，包括佢嘅好多生平嘅細節啊，我就喺度就唔多講。咁呢一張係一個風景，就介紹下呢一張圖片啊，我相信好多香港朋友都非常熟悉呢個係維多利亞港旁邊嘅一個好有代表性嘅照片。咁佢解讀完之後咧，佢就話呢度係維多利亞港啊，位於香港島同九龍島之間啊，同埋好多具體嘅信息嘅介紹。佢亦都係指出咧，維多利亞港係香港嘅標誌性地標之一啊。咁當然咧，大家會覺得一張維多利亞港嘅照片其實好平常啦。就算我唔識張畫，我都知道嗰度係維多利亞港。但係咧，好特別嘅一條，大家要留意就係佢講天空陰沉，雲層交合。佢係真係結合到呢張畫佢實際所處嘅嗰個場景去理解佢成個嘅一個畫風，話翻俾你聽當時嘅氣候天氣嘅情況。咁當然啦，我哋其實呢啲都係比較一般嘅知識性嘅問答。咁呢個模型點樣幫到我哋自己日常嘅生活咧？我哋要睇翻呢張畫咧，係我哋琴日直接喺樓下嘅麥當勞拍出嚟嘅，大家去對下。咁咧，我就問呢度有幾個套餐，幫我揀一個，呢就好貼近我哋日常生活。咁佢就話呢度有3個套餐供選擇啊，第一個叫麥炸雞，幾多錢？50蚊5毫啊。第二個咧叫做蜜糖 BBQ 麥炸雞套餐啊，第3個叫做蘑菇安格斯套餐。咁咧就話俾你聽，你選擇嘅時候咧可以考慮口味偏好預算同埋套餐裏邊嘅內容合唔合適。咁跟住佢就再問揀個平啲嘅啊，佢就話俾你聽第一個，因為佢嘅錢花費係最少。所以個過程中，大家睇到其實佢係代表咗對圖片嘅認識。裏邊其實你要睇翻頭先嗰張圖片，裏邊嘅字係好細個啊，佢認到裏邊嘅字，同埋提取出裏邊嘅信息，以及當你問佢話揀平啲嘅時候，佢理解到邊一個係平，即係代表咗背後仲有一個推理能力結合喺上邊。呢就係包括佢裏邊呢啲字其實係好細嘅喺張圖片裏邊認到出嚟，同埋最後我推理到邊一個係最平嘅套餐。咁當然人工智能嘅發展係離唔開頭先博士講嘅，包括計算能力嘅支撐。咁接落嚟嘅話咧，我會請我哋公司嘅聯合創始人 陳宇恒先生去介紹我哋算力基礎設施，亦都係我哋大模型發展SenseChat 5.0背後嘅幕後英雄同埋基石。
多謝大華老師嘅介紹啦。咁我喺香港，因為我自己係廣東人啊，所以我都係用廣東話同大家介紹下我哋所有 SenseChat 嘅訓練嘅基礎設施啊，亦都係我哋嘅大裝置算力基礎設施啦。咁我哋回顧過去2-3年啦，其實中美都係一直係起緊更大規模嘅算力基礎設施。咁從 GPT3 啦、GPT4 啦、GPT4.5 以及最新發布嘅咁嘅 GPT4O 嘅模型，以及好似啱先達老師介紹嘅呢個SenseChat，我哋從去年嘅 V4 到今年嘅 V5，整個嘅大模型發展啦，其實我哋可以睇到尺度定律，即係時間經絡算力對人工智能模型嘅一個效果嘅最後嘅貢獻，其實一直都係未到佢嘅邊界。所以如何去建立更大規模嘅人工智能基礎設施、算力基礎設施，將會成為下一代嘅無論係 GPT-V5 啦，同埋我哋下一代嘅雙量更大規模嘅人工智能大模型嘅關鍵。咁商湯咧喺過去好多年啦，一直其實都係喺算力特別係人工智能嘅算力投入上，其實都花咗好多嘅精力啦。咁呢張圖咧，其實係我哋喺上海臨港嗰邊嘅亞洲建設嘅一個亞洲最大嘅人工智能嘅 data centre。咁呢個 data centre 呢兩棟樓裏邊咧，已經容納咗超過45,000張 GPU 卡。咁啱先大華老師介紹嘅我哋嘅雙量大模型，其實整個模型所有嘅訓練啦、服務啦、推理啦，都可以喺呢個人工智能數據中心裏邊運行啊。我哋而家整個嘅人工智能基礎設施所納管嘅算力規模超過咗12,000 petaflops。咁值得highlight 一下啦。咁裏邊嘅45,000張卡裏邊，我哋今年做咗一個更大規模嘅集群嘅改造啊。去年咧好多公司其實都係訓練緊用1000張左右嘅 GPU 卡去做互聯，去訓練1000億參數左右嘅LLM。咁今年包括我哋嘅雙量嘅大模型 SenseChat， 其實係用到我哋上萬張GPU 卡互聯嘅一個更大規模嘅基礎設施，完成嗰個1000億參數嘅 MOE 模型嘅一個訓練。咁呢個1萬張 GPU 全互聯嘅一個咁嘅集群喺中國咧嚟講應該只有2套。如果去考慮咗我哋可以提供對外一致嘅 AI 雲服務同埋算力服務嘅一套基礎設施嘅解決方案，可能就係得商湯呢一個萬卡咁樣嘅集群。我哋可以睇到喺算力加持之下下一代嘅創新科技好多嘅創新點其實都來源於人工智能同埋算力嘅發展。前2個星期啦 ，Google DeepMind 大家睇新聞可以睇到DeepMind 發布咗個 AlphaFold 3、AlphaFold 3咁佢可以做到非常精確嘅去預測多種蛋白質之間嘅相互作用嘅關係。無論係大陸啦，同埋美國啦，我相信包括香港。我琴日喺酒店睇電視嗰陣，都係提到有香港公司其實都係做緊人形機器人咁樣好多嘅科創嘅項目同埋創客嘅項目。咁人形機器人咧，其實最近2年成為一個創業嘅爆發點。佢嘅來源都係因為Visual Language Model 即係視覺語言大模型嘅發展。可以使得機械人咧真正可以理解我哋嘅整個嘅現實嘅世界，通過視覺大模型嘅感知能力去做更深入嘅理解同埋響應responsive to the world。然後咧佢好多行業我相信 LLM 其實都係會有更深度嘅一個滲透嘅作用例如係 FinTech 啦，例如係這個法律啦。教育啦，各個行業其實未來 人工智能大模型都會有好多嘅落地嘅場景啊。咁未來嘅創新科技離不開算力嘅發展。咁回到今日嘅主題啱先包括一陣我哋嘅同事去介紹我哋嘅商量嘅 APP， 其實所有嘅人工智能嘅服務啦，其實背後都需要非常大規模嘅一個算力嘅保障。無論我哋嘅語言對話嘅 APP 啦，我哋啱先嘅多模態嘅模型嘅推理，背後都要非常大嘅算力啊。咁我哋嘅服務算力咧，所有嘅需求量其實係正比於模型嘅參數量啦，乘以我哋嘅用戶數，再乘以我哋嘅用戶使用頻率。咁隨住大模型嘅效果啦，越嚟越出眾，而且我哋好多嘅用戶越嚟越習慣喺佢哋嘅工作啦、學習啦、生活裏邊去使用呢啲大模型嘅應用。其實可以預測未來好短時間去做推理大模型嘅推理同埋服務應用嘅咁樣嘅一個算力嘅量需求量，仲會有1到2嘅數量級嘅增長。然後咧介紹一下我哋基於強大嘅我哋嘅萬張 GPU 嘅咁強大嘅 hardware platform AI supercomputer platform， 我哋喺上邊一直都係考慮緊如何使得我哋咁樣一套硬件 hardware 嘅 AI 超級計算機咧，可以俾到咁多廣泛嘅企業同埋開發者可以使用。為此咧，我哋構建咗整套嘅商湯大裝置咁樣一個產品體系啦。從下到上，我就為大家介紹一下。最下邊係我哋嘅整個嘅人工智能嘅 data center 嘅一個建設、資訊、運營、運維嘅解決方案。咁喺上邊咧，我哋搭建咗全套嘅開箱即用嘅 AI infrastructure as a service 咁樣一套軟件嘅解決方案，可以將 AI 計算裏邊嘅 compute、storage、networking 全部去做立盤，可以雲化、服務化嘅方式對我哋嘅開發者提供服務。咁今日啱先大華老師提到嘅一系列嘅SenseChat V5嘅咁樣嘅粵語大模型嘅能力啦，包括多模態大模型嘅能力，包括語音嘅識別、語音嘅解釋嘅能力，我哋後續馬上咧都會通過我哋嘅 SenseNova platform 日新大模型開發平台去提供公共嘅 API 接口調用。咁我哋嘅企業開發者啦，我哋個人開發者啦、創客啦，可以通過咁樣嘅一套 AI 雲服務去實現佢自己嘅人工智能驅動嘅應用同埋行業嘅解決方案。咁喺去年我哋嘅23年啦，我哋有參評咗嗰個 Voice and Celebrate 嘅一個中國 AI 開發平台嘅一個市場報告。咁可以睇到我哋嘅整套嘅大裝置產品體系啦，喺呢個中國嘅 AI 開發平台嘅市場裏邊係佔據頭部第一嘅地位，而且係屬於呢個領先者嘅一個象限。咁我哋希望咧未來咧企業同埋開發者通過咁樣一套軟硬件一體嘅AI 雲服務，可以實現高效嘅大模型語訓練啦。極致性價比嘅一個推理嘅體驗啦，同埋可以充分利用到我哋嘅粵語大模型嘅能力啦，同埋各種多模態大模型嘅能力，可以去開發佢自己嘅 AI 嘅應用。咁最後咧就係同大家分享一個我哋喺香港本地嘅一個算力同埋服務建設嘅規劃啊。咁樣其實商湯咧一直係扎根喺科技園嘅支持下啦，其實都成長到而家一個AI 嘅獨角獸同埋領先嘅一個軟件嘅AI 軟件嘅公司領先嘅公司。咁我哋其實一直咧都係冇忘記去反哺香港本土嘅企業同埋科創嘅生態。所以喺過去幾個月嘅時間裏邊，我哋一直喺度建設 香港同埋大陸嘅算力互聯，去實現更大規模嘅算力網絡嘅構建，可以使得香港本土嘅開發者、工程師、科學家可以好方便嘅，無論使用香港本地嘅算力同埋大陸嘅算力，都可以通過一鍵去完成任務嘅提交同埋發布，可以迅速嘅、快速嘅、高效嘅完成佢自己嘅科研任務啦，嗰度人工智能應用嘅開發任務。咁我哋已經完成咗香港、深圳、上海、福建幾個算力中心嘅連接。咁我哋嘅香港嘅用戶啦，可以好快咁使用到大陸嘅算力，同時咧可以保證信息嘅絕對嘅安全。咁我哋6月份咧，又要針對香港本地去建設我哋整個嘅 AI 雲嘅一個可用區嘅建設。咁點解要建設香港本地嘅 AI 雲可用區咧？主要有2個原因。第一個原因咧就係降低調用嘅延遲。未來嘅好多嘅人工智能嘅應用咧，其實都係會同人機會產生一個強嘅交互。咁呢個交互過程中，其實延遲會非常嘅關鍵。所以建設本地嘅 AI 雲可用區，可以大幅度減少用戶嘅交互延遲，提供更多用戶嘅體驗啦。第二點咧，對於好多企業客戶，特別係香港本土嘅企業客戶，會十分關注數據嘅對於香港相關嘅法律法規嘅數據隱私法規嘅 privacy security 相關嘅問題。所以咁樣嘅建設方案咧，又可以大幅度嘅提升呢個本地嘅數據安全合規嘅一個程度。咁我哋喺6月份咧，都會將我哋嘅所有嘅大模型嘅能力咧，喺香港區去進行開放，咁樣可以提供雲上嘅 AI 算力同埋大模型嘅 AI 調用俾外出，使得更多嘅香港嘅各行各業本土企業咧，包括金融啦、旅遊啦、影視啦、教育啦等個行業，可以更好嘅利用佢哋嘅 SenseChat 嘅大模型啦，同埋大裝置嘅算力去為行業賦能。我哋亦都係希望未來咧持續將我哋嘅大陸嘅算力同香港算力產生協同，形成協同效應，去支撐香港嘅科創產業嘅一個發展。謝謝大家。咁接下來嘅時間咧，會請我哋嘅 Louis 去介紹一下大裝置嘅
唔該晒宇恒，唔該晒大華老師。好聽咁耐大家個發佈會都會問一問喂咁你收幾多錢啊？咁我會講一講啦。OK， 咁其實咧嗱，你哋用開，我諗大家都知喺香港用開就要用 VPN 過去唔同國家啦，係咪？用 GPT， 咁唔係就 POE 俾1年錢啦。咁其實咧，我哋今日係已經有得用㗎啦，係 API 接駁30蚊一秒 token。咁咧，其實呢個位咧就我諗全城最平㗎啦嚇。咁可以用得到 API 接駁翻，我哋已經可以用㗎啦。而我哋喺月尾或者我叫慶祝回歸7月1號咧 ，Web 版同 App 版係會免費放俾大眾用嘅。OK， 咁到時咧7月1號咧就我哋會有一個 release， 咁到時你有機會就download呢個 App Store download 啦，或者喺Android Play Store download 啦咁就會用到我哋嘅 App 版，咁同埋個 Web 版㗎啦。OK， 咁記住又登記翻啦。咁好啦，咁其實頭先講好多商量我哋啲 function 啦，其實我哋成日用口語講嘅香港話或者英溝中嘅話咧，其實咧我哋做一個例子，譬如你睇到頭先就係大華老師有 show 到如果用一個廣東話語言模型 LLM， 其實可以做啲咩場景啊？咁其實呢啲好 general 嘅場景咧，其實咧喺而家我哋見到咧，即使香港嘅 enterprise 都會用到㗎啦。OK， 咁甚至乎你都係見到啦，即係正常 update 一幅圖上去。
頭先大華老師都有講過，你見到佢會同你講到咧係邊度影落去，裏邊嘅場景係點樣，天氣啊其他嘢你都見到。咁其實咧呢個細緻度咧你可以對比一下其他係做唔到。咁多模態啦，我哋香港叫 Multimodal 啦。咁多模態係有即係對家 GPT 其實有好多function， 或者如果大家有用 GPTs， 其實咧就要 search 邊幾個 support JPEG 啊，或者係PNG 啊，或者 JSON 啊。咁而家唔使，而家我哋呢個多模態 function 咧，其實咧喺一個 chat room 裏邊，一個 frame 裏邊，你可以 upload 唔同嘅 document 上去，喺裏邊我哋支援到最高50個唔同嘅 document 彈上去，同時間可以問。喂，咁問完之後，我哋有啲對比㗎啦。咁友商即係其他GPT 啊，或者其他。咁其實你會見到咧，我哋個速度、理解力都係最快。咁啊，睇一睇有啲 demo 啦。因為其實可以有時間可以出邊睇 demo， 出邊我哋都有好多現場 demo。呢一個月裏邊有個測試，咁我哋有機會你哋可以揾我哋嘅銷售團隊攞個邀請去測試，正式7月號 release。咁呢一個咧其實係一個分析嚟嘅，其實將小米啦近呢三年24年 Q1 同23年 Q1 個成績對比。咁你會見到咧，我哋嗰個分析咧去到個位咧，其實係你見到佢係可以兩份相減去對比，亦都睇到佢嗰個增長係幾多。咁我去行門咧睇一睇，其實啲紅色部分咧就係好快咁樣 zoom in 咗入去啦，見到咧兩邊個回收，然後俾個新嘅即係顏色俾你哋。OK， 好，呢一份亦都係啦，一份營收啦，咁你就咁望落去，睇下眼睇就即刻知道啦。咁如果就咁問佢知唔知道邊個圖中個結構裏邊銅包佔咗營業幾高，佢其實會 show 到嘅。OK， 同時間睇到。OK， 另外一份 report 啦，呢份 report 咧係抽其中一頁出嚟問佢嘅。OK， 咁佢問完之後係32頁，其實你見到其他咧，我如果有用開咧，叫佢抽頁數咧係好挑戰性嘅，成日會錯。OK， 我哋係攞到個好準邊一頁，同埋裏面就會收。OK， 好，手機版好 interesting， 我諗有冇人玩過或者 YouTube 聽過 GPT 嘅廣東話咧？咁不如聽聽啦嚇。咁近排我哋呢個界面啦，呢個其實其中有一個界面啦，咁有搜尋功能。其實有一個好 key 嘅，我哋係因為對接咗香港一啲最新嘅 news， 咁其實你喺個 app 版面上邊咧係攞到一啲
最新嘅香港新聞，包括1哆啦 A 夢無人機演出，60個哆啦 A 夢雕塑同埋12米高嘅充氣哆啦 A 夢喺中山紀念公園草坪上進行咗快閃展出。另外，維港上空都有以哆啦 A 夢為主題嘅無人機匯演，全場20分鐘，大約有1000架無人機。
好，咁近排好紅啦，呢個係啦，可白。OK， 咁你我哋做個 demo 試咧，就話喂，試下不如對家睇下佢點答啦。我哋自己係答到啊嘛，係咪？佢對家答唔答到啦？我哋點答咧？
你知唔知可白同何太？
可伯同何太係一對引起全城熱烈討論嘅夫婦。根據東張西望嘅報導，76歲嘅何伯同佢年輕超過30歲嘅內地太太何太閃電再婚。
OK， 咁GPT 唔係 local 啊，冇 local 嘢啊嘛，佢哋
你知唔知可白同何太？
我唔係好清楚可白同何太，佢哋係邊位？
佢其實咧，如果我咁講咧，佢係一個好正宗嘅譚仔姐姐口音 ，OK， 咁但係個目標咧，我就係講緊咧，我哋有講緊最新香港資訊。其實 你覺得佢口音咪好，我口音咪好，但係其實個資訊上面同埋個 logic， 即係認到個 logic news 咧係好 update 嘅。OK， 咁另外啦，譬如話頭先就街市情緣啦，如果網上情緣，可能我哋都有啲客仔就其實喺度睇緊啲點樣去認一啲網上情緣有 issue 啊，或者點樣去 detect。咁我哋問下佢，我哋用香港問下佢，廣東話問下佢，買一個 GPT 會有咩要收緊啊？
我最近喺網上邊識咗一個女朋友，我哋日日都傾得好開心。最近佢話想同我借錢做生意，你點睇？
喺網上識朋友嘅時候要特別小心，特別係涉及到金錢嘅事。即使你哋每日都傾得好開心，但係你都要諗清楚，因為可能會有騙子利用人嘅感情去騙錢。
好啦，有攞出嘅係嘛？聽下。
聽起來你哋嘅關係發展得幾好，大家相處愉快係好事。至於借錢呢件事，雖然幫助朋友或愛人係好事，但都要小心處理。希望大家對方有這個公司。
OK， 咁我諗大家都明白呢個 OK 邊度嚟嘅咧？呢個就係我哋將會喺again 7月1號回歸嗰陣時出嘅 app， 咁啊大家有興趣就睇單個到時 OK， 好玩。咁啊正式發放7月1號。最後啊，係啦，我想講多少少就係有個business model。其實咧，我哋有個privacy model 咧就會出埋。咁其實喺唔同嘅領域咧，我同你講，好多客同我哋講都係個 data privacy 問題。咁點解會駁上雲？因為咧所有嘢駁上雲咧都會有 issue。OK， 咁如果係有雲 issue 有concern嘅話咧，咁我哋會有個 privacy model 可以裝喺你哋個 office 裏邊用翻嘅 ，OK， 咁呢個同時間都會一同 release。內地我哋或者唔同嘅領域都已經行緊啦，醫療啊、finance 啊、programming 啊，或者一啲gaming 啊，或者一啲 edge， 可能係啲細嘅模型擺喺 cam 啊或者其他地方我哋都會有㗎啦。咁遲啲我會睇下有興趣同我哋銷售團隊再搞㗎 ，OK， 咁係啦，咁佢個界面啦，咁亦都可以完全用到啦。咁係啦，多謝晒。
教授宇恒和 Louis 的介紹，既展示了商湯科技在短短1個多月內不間斷的技術迭代，也讓我們更深入的了解SenseChat粵語版的技術信息以及應用場景。商湯科技的生成式 AI 技術一直備受客戶和合作夥伴的肯定。今天我們很榮幸邀請了多家客戶及合作夥伴來到現場，與商湯科技簽訂合作備忘錄。他們分別是德勤中國、隸屬吉利科技集團創新業務板塊的長興技術科技有限公司，以及香港電訊 HKT。商湯科技嘅生成式 AI 產品一直廣受客戶嘅肯定。今日我哋十分榮幸邀請到多位重要嘅客戶同合作夥伴到場，同商湯科技簽訂合作備忘錄。佢哋分別係德勤中國、隸屬吉利科技集團創新業務板塊嘅長興吉數科技有限公司，以及香港電訊 HKT。我哋會分別邀請各位上台。按照公司的英文名稱，我們先有請德勤中國的代表上台。德勤中國華南區主管合夥人歐振興先生將代表簽署備忘錄，並由德勤中國華南區科技、傳媒和電信行業領導合夥人陳耀邦先生見證。商湯科技方面將由商湯香港副總經理連慧倫女士代表簽署，並由商湯香港總經理王征先生見證。有請德勤中國華南區主管合夥人歐振興先生代表簽署備忘錄，由德勤中國華南區科技傳媒和電信行業領導合夥人陳耀邦先生見證。商湯香港副總經理連慧倫女士代表簽署，並由商湯香港總經理王征先生見證。在這個合作框架下，德勤中國和商湯科技將會在共同推動 SenseChat 粵語版應用以及網絡安全和諮詢等方面展開合作探討。 雙方將會喺共同推動 SenseChat 粵語版應用以及網絡安全同資訊方面展開合作探討。謝謝大家，請各位嘉賓先行就座。接下來有請長興技術科技有限公司和商湯科技簽訂合作備忘錄。現在有請吉利科技集團副總裁顧文婷女士見證，吉利長興 IDC 總經理張振傑先生代表簽署，以及商湯科技聯合創始人徐斌先生見證。商湯科技亞太區業務副總裁鄒春惠先生代表簽署備忘錄。有請吉利長興 IDC 總經理張振傑先生代表簽署備忘錄，並由吉利科技集團副總裁顧文婷女士見證。同時由商湯科技聯合創始人徐斌先生見證，商湯科技亞太區業務副總裁鄒春惠先生上台代表簽署。
唔係，要講先前加勢。呢個出兵現物裝置同埋公司地呢個企業後邊個出兵都係現物裝置，即係講後邊嗰個叫出兵。
在此合作框架下，長興技術科技有限公司將會聯同商湯科技在有關合作領域，作為對方產品推廣、市場開拓優勢互補的戰略合作夥伴。雙方將喺有關合作領域作為對方產品推廣、市場開拓優勢互補嘅戰略合作夥伴。唔該曬咁多位，請先行就座。現在有請香港電訊 HKT 和商湯科技的代表上台。香港電訊商業客戶業務產品事務及方案顧問部高級副總裁鍾偉康先生將代表簽署。香港電訊商業客戶業務董事總經理吳家龍先生見證。同時有請商湯科技副總裁、亞太業務事業群總裁史俊先生見證。商湯香港業務總經理馮運先生上台代表簽署備忘錄。而家有請香港電訊商業客戶業務產品事務及方案顧問部高級副總裁鍾偉康先生代表簽署，並由香港電訊商業客戶業務董事總經理吳家龍先生見證。同時由商湯科技副總裁亞太業務事務群總裁史君先生見證，商湯香港業務總經理馮宇先生代表簽署。喺呢個合作框架下，香港電訊將會同商湯科技共同就為香港企業提供人工智能服務及算力方面展開合作探討。唔該曬咁多位，請就座。難得各位聚首一堂，我哋都特別借呢個機會邀請咗多位香港唔同行業嘅專家，同我哋一齊探討人工智能喺香港嘅應用同發展。I would like to invite our moderator and panelists to our panel discussion on the AI-powered metropolis, how large models are shaping the future of Hong Kong. First, please welcome our moderator, Ms. Lian Huilun. And now, let's give a round of applause to our esteemed panelists. Dr. Leo Ma, Dean, Deloitte AI Institute, Hong Kong. Mr. Marcos Chow, Chief Information Officer, HKT Limited. And Mr. Bohan Obradovich, Chief Digital Officer, HSBC Hong Kong. Please join us on the stage.
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to our panel session on the AI-powered metropolis, how large models are shaping the future of Hong Kong. I am Hui Lun, the Deputy GM of SenseTime Hong Kong, and it is my pleasure to moderate this session today. As we stand at the intersection of technological innovation and economy growth, the impact of AI on our city's future becomes even more relevant in these times. Hong Kong, with its unique blend of cultures and a robust financial and technological infrastructure, is well positioned to be a leader in AI innovation. Today, we're going to explore how large models in AI are enhancing our competitive edge and shaping the metropolis of tomorrow. So I'm really honored to be joined by my distinguished panel of experts who bring diverse perspectives and insights into this discussion. So before we start, can we just give my panelists a round of applause, please? So next to me, we have Dr. Leo Ma. Dr. Ma is the Dean of the Deloitte AI Institute in Hong Kong. He leads critical conversations that drive AI and Gen AI adoption across sectors as they navigate the complex AI landscape. And next we have Mr. Marcos Chow. Mr. Chow is the Group Chief Information Officer at HKT Limited, and he plays a crucial role in overseeing HKT's customer-focused technology strategy across industries. And last but not least, we have Mr. Bojan Obradovich. I'm so sorry. Bojan is the Chief Digital Officer at HSBC Hong Kong and is responsible for developing and executing HSBC's digital banking strategy. So let's just dive into our discussion with the first question, which I would like to address to all our panelists. So in your opinion, what role do you think large models play in strengthening Hong Kong's competitive edge as a leader in AI innovation in the global market? Who would like to go first? Leo, I'm just gonna arrow you because you're next to me.
Seems the question is different from what you gave me before.
Coming.
It's all right. I think Hong Kong has special position as a mix of Western and Chinese culture. So with all this, we all see that the Cantonese model is very powerful. That it doesn't only have they incorporate the culture in about Western, but about the Chinese, the Hong Kong, or the Cantonese community. So we have a special stand among in the world it makes us have a mix of culture, about especially the model. So I think the model or the AI model or this kind of application, understanding the needs of particular community is very important, especially for example, we talk about the AI, but we always talk about it as an English model AI. But whether we could have an Italian AI, a French-based AI, or all kinds of different language AI that incorporate the culture, then it will be much better to help the people or the community to do or to deliver a particular application. Like a chatbot, if they understand the culture, it can better help the community. Like in the MTR, you want to go somewhere, if the chatbot doesn't understand what you say, then this is difficult. So how Hong Kong can lead the world, I think this is not something leading or not, but how Hong Kong can help our local community and the Cantonese-speaking community. For example, not only Hong Kong, like in Canada, in the Asia Pacific, or in many other places like in Australia, these places we have quite a large Cantonese-speaking community. So I think all these things for all this development of large model is very much beneficial to all this community and helping them in their daily life.
Thank you, Leo. Bojan, I'm sure you have something to add to that.
Sure.
From a foreign
First of all,
perspective.
thank you for having me on this panel, and just to say congratulations. on your product launch. It's really exciting to see this happening in Hong Kong. So just to add on a couple of points here, I think we can reflect on what is actually happening with respect to AI. Over the last couple of years, we've seen a profound development in AI, especially with large models, and that's inspired every individual to think about how this can be applied to everyday use. So AI now has had this major advancement, and it has a potential for profound impact on the society and all of the industries that operate across the world. And so there are two aspects where I think Hong Kong has got its prominence and potential to lead the world. First of all, let's recognize the existing strengths of Hong Kong. Financial services sector is one of its biggest strengths. It's one of the leading international financial services centers of the world. It's got a very sophisticated network. It's got a very sophisticated supply chain model. These are some of the capabilities that Hong Kong has that are existing strengths, and AI is going to change that. So if Hong Kong is able to capture the opportunities from AI to develop solutions for the existing strengths that it has, it can export those capabilities to the rest of the world. So that's point one. Point two is the Hong Kong's new aspiration to be a digital hub. And part of that is not just to actually lead research on AI and developments around that, but it's actually to develop this new economy that I am very passionate about personally, which is, can Hong Kong attract companies, talents to develop startups, solutions? And HKSTP is a great ground for that, which is why we've signed a partnership with them. If Hong Kong is able to attract talent to come here to develop these new capability solutions for the existing strengths of Hong Kong and potentially new strengths, I think that's another source of strength for Hong Kong, and I really look forward to seeing that happening, with the likes of HKSTP and everyone that's here.
And Marcos?
I think for me, all these new technologies such as LLM, Gen AI, and so forth, are things that definitely help us bridge the digital divide and to remove friction from the system. So anything that touches on helping us to improve customer service, improving our staff efficiencies and so forth, are definitely of interest to us. If Hong Kong has more of these technologies that are homegrown and built and deployed here, it's certainly very promising for the future.
Great, thank you. And I kind of want to expand on that and actually ask you, how do you actually see the integration of large models transforming the telco industry in Hong Kong? And what role do you actually think HKT plays in this transformation?
It's not just for telcos, I guess, as Bowen mentioned earlier, it's across all industries firstly. I think every industry, sector, even demographics, we actually be touched. I think for us, it's going to be coming back to what I mentioned earlier. How can we serve our customers better? How can we improve the experience for our employees as well? I think that will be our North Star, right? The technology is all a part of the tool sets, the suites that we actually have to actually do this. I mean, my kids are 11 and 8. They don't speak much Cantonese, so 1st of July, I'm going to get this on their iPads, on my cell phones, and maybe this can help them learn Cantonese as well, to actually understand this, because they are growing up in this region. So I think, for me, the future is so exciting right now, because no one has a clear roadmap. SenseTime has put building blocks for us. It's then up to everyone else to use this platform to actually build on top of it.
Great answer, thank you. And Boyan, how do you envision large models being deployed to improve customer experiences and operational efficiency while balancing the continued need for security and risk management?
Sure, so that is a great question, and actually that question is the essence of the question that is defining HSBC's strategy towards deploying generative AI and AI in general. If I just take a slight step back and talk a little bit more holistically about AI, and then I'll touch on generative AI. So HSBC have been investing in AI now for quite some time. I believe we deployed our first machine learning models a decade ago. Over this period, we've invested quite significantly, both from technology capabilities perspective. So in 2017, we decided to start moving the bank to the public cloud in part because we wanted to access AI. And we're investing in our talent, so now we have teams of machine learning researchers, AI engineers, data scientists who are every single day coming into the office thinking about how they can apply AI across all of our business units and functions to improve customer experience, to improve our own efficiencies, to improve our ability to fight financial crime, etc. And we've either deployed or identified over 1,000 traditional AI use cases already over that period. Now, recent advancement in generative AI have, first of all, substantially advanced the technology, and I think everyone recognizes that. But more than just advancing the technology, it's advanced accessibility to that technology. Now, every individual, everyone in this room, is thinking about how can generative AI be used in my daily life to improve my daily life, and that is a very powerful proposition. And that is no different to enterprises. HSBC, like every other enterprise, is thinking about the same thing every single day, and so we're hugely excited about the potential, but at the same time we recognize that there are still existing challenges and risks associated that we have to overcome before this is applied at scale. And so for us, it's very much a balanced approach. Our starting position right now with respect to generative AI is internal capabilities only. So we want to get more maturity internally, exposing generative AI to our internal staff before we expose that externally to our customers. And there are three areas we're focused in on. We're focused in on operational efficiencies. How can we improve our staff's access to data? How can we improve our software engineers' ability to code more efficiently with generative AI? How can we improve our governance, automating meeting minutes and things like that? Secondly, how can we improve customer experience through augmenting our frontline colleagues' experience in dealing with customers before we expose it to the customers? And then thirdly, how do we enhance our risk management and ability to operate across 60 markets, keep up with compliance rules, changing policies? This is where we see huge potential of generative AI. So in short, it's a very careful balance. We're taking a prudent approach, starting internal first. We have identified several hundred use cases already, but we have not yet deployed one single use case to production at this point in time with generative AI.
Thank you, and hopefully the tools like SenseChat Cantonese would be a future tool in your pipeline. And Leo, we've had conversations, and I know Deloitte works with a lot of companies across sectors, such as finance and telco, retail. So when it comes to the application of large models in Hong Kong, what synergies do you actually see when consulting and advising all these different industries?
I think first of all, technology is quite industry agnostic. So it is not bounded to a particular industry. So this technology is technology, just like your large language model, it can be applied in all kind of industry. So the first thing is to understand what it can do, the technology. So for example, it can recognize pattern, it can help, it can develop some recommender system, or it can do some prediction, or give you some information. Or especially in Hong Kong, you may need some translation on the spot, say Cantonese English, Cantonese Mandarin, this kind of thing. You need all these kind of things. So when it's talk about synergy, is how to do it in like what we call vertical application. So we need to apply to particular industry, like in finance, in recommender system, you can recommend certain financial products, or in some cybersecurity level, you can identify what kind of attack technique that the hacker has done, or where is the weak point. This kind of thing, they are very much using a similar technique, similar technology, but actually you can apply it in different industries. So I think about whether the technology can advance is very much like in that particular industry, they have that needs, and then we need to discuss with them, just like Deloitte is more like on the advisory, and then we can have the chance to talk to the client and see what is their real needs, and then we provide a total solution. And then at this moment, we can have the feedback from the client and say, oh, but that part of technology may not be advanced enough, and then it can come back. So this is the synergy of how client may tell us that their needs, and then we will see which technology we can apply to that particular in scenario. So I think it is very much dynamics.
asking for some of our colleagues here. It's not in the list again, but what happens when the clients don't actually know what they want? Because it is so, there's just so much going on. The industry is evolving at such a fast rate, and I think there's also a struggle to keep up with the latest trends. So when the client themselves don't really know what they want, where does Deloitte come in?
Yeah, absolutely. When client doesn't know what they want, this is the biggest chance for us to talk to them. Right? Because first of all, I think whenever we do anything, we need to identify the aim and what we should do and what we can do. So this is the strength for Deloitte. We have a lot of talented people and talented professionals that we can help all our clients to first is to identify their needs. Because say, whether we really need to use Gen AI or not, I think it may not be the case. But whether you need certain automation, probably is what they need actually. So we can include some other teams, or we can work with some other people within our company. This is the strength, is we can provide total solutions.
And now, my next question is actually for all the panelists, because I think this is a question that cuts across, different industries, different sectors. But what are some of the governance and ethical considerations that we have to address as we further integrate large models into our everyday lives? Marcos, would you like to start?
Sure. If we give it to him, we'll be here for 3 hours or 3 days, right? So about risk management. I think firstly, any new technologies that actually come out, everyone don't know the depth and the breadth that it will cover. Especially as we have moved down to the AI world right now, right? Considered to be more of a black box than before, right? In the old days, we could still look at code and understand things. Right now, there's inference in there. So I think as a start, I've got Deloitte on my left. I should go back to seeing existing frameworks and governance models that's out there. One that's out there is actually from the Institute of Internal Auditors. They have an updated 3 lines model. So many times, the business like myself in the first line, they've got second line in risk, third line audit. And now they've come away where, with a new governance model in there, with business and also other folks in there, they can bring all this together. So I think that's one area to look at. And the second was obviously with HSBC on my right. I always think back to their all the advertisements, right? The world's global local bank. Right? That's a bit how we have to deal with the regulations, right? There's going to be more and more regulations being launched and released. I think EU has just launched a new one just a few weeks ago. China's updated its cybersecurity laws. Hong Kong will have it as well. So we see more of it coming. So I think we have to look at both global and also local. It's ever changing.
And segue into Boyan.
All right. Financial services is one of the most highly regulated industries, and therefore carries a significant amount of responsibilities towards the end consumers. So for me, this is very foundational. And actually, it's not as a result of generative AI that we're thinking about this. We published our AI ethics and principles 5 years ago. And those are applicable to any applications that have significant data use. Whether you're talking about data analytics or you're talking about traditional AI or generative AI, those principles are the same. But what are those principles? Things like, we're going to be responsible and accountable to our shareholders, stakeholders, customers for any deployment of this technology and be responsible for it. We will ensure data privacy and adhere to the various regulations that exist across the 60+ markets that we operate in, which is, of course, not always necessarily easy because we have to balance between some of the divergences that do happen. But actually, once again, just to kind of reiterate the key point, what's happened in the last 2 years is traditional AI. So if we just rewind back to pre-ChatGPT just for a moment, traditional AI was kind of looked at as this sophisticated technology that was available to the specialists, data scientists. And then in comes generative AI and advancements with all of the tools that have launched. And all of a sudden, every individual has access to this sophisticated technology. but not every individual will know exactly how to use this technology and be proficient with it. What do I mean by that? Well, knowing how to ask the right questions so you get accurate responses, to make sure that actually those sources of information exist, that AI is not hallucinating, recognizing when it is hallucinating, getting to the bottom of that will require training. And then even for us internally, we have to think about how we develop training models on top of the foundational models that exist, that are very specific to financial services. And how do we embed that into the models that exist to ensure that? The last point I would just say is, besides training internally our staff and our colleagues, customers, etc., as a very large global bank, we operate our technology estates both with internal capabilities but also with third-party capabilities. We often buy fintech solutions and integrate them in. And so as we procure AI solutions from our partners, we have to think about how can they actually meet our standards as well. And this is a challenge and consideration from government's perspective as well.
So maybe I talk about the technical aspect, because they talk about more like the privacy, security, and liability things. But from the technical perspective, it's more like the training data. It's about whether it is a bias or fairness issue. For example, if you have some data that may reflect the societal biases, or for example, it may affect someone who want to borrow some money, then whether you want to approve it or not, whether you will use this, but it may be biased because of his background, or whether he's just the racist, this kind of stuff. Then we need to consider if the training data itself is biased or not. And about the Gen AI, not traditional AI. Traditional AI is more controllable, but for the Gen AI, because it is based on the random number and probability distribution, and it can also generate new content. So we need to consider about the misinformation or disinformation, that some deep fake, and they may fake there's some personal identity, this stuff. I think we need to have certain governance in this area in order to keep people have the trust of using this technology.
Thank you. And I guess that's a natural extension to the next question. So how do we envision the collaboration between the public sector, the private sector, to foster a supportive environment for AI developments in Hong Kong? And we do have Hong Kong government representatives in the audience here today, so I will be careful with what I say.
So from my perspective, this is absolutely key. And it's actually absolutely key for any technology advancement that will have a profound impact on society, that will have profound impact on industries. AI, blockchain-based solutions, digital assets, quantum computing. These are all significant breakthroughs in technology that are going to shape the way that we all live our lives, that all industries operate across the world, and therefore this partnership between academia, public sector, the regulators, government, as well as the private sector, in our case the bank, is absolutely key to success. So we are heavily engaged in this partnership. You can see the HKMA have published their FinTech 2025 strategy, as part of which they've listed things like central bank digital currencies, AI as one of the key trends in the coming years, and we're engaged with our regulators on this topic directly, but also through industry associations like HCAP that we're chairing at this point in time. We're also partnered with academia because we feel that in AI in particular, research is key. And we have a partnership with HKUST here in Hong Kong to help us do in-depth research with respect to certain questions that we even have and that are not specific to HSBC, that are specific to the wider industry. Should we be developing models that are specific for financial industry, domain-specific models? Will they enable us to reduce the hallucinations? Will they enable us to give more accurate, more timely information? This is something that HKUST, for example, is helping us with. How does insurance work in an AI world? This is another topic of research that we find is something that's going to inform our own decision making. So I feel that this partnership is absolutely key to success for AI, as well as any other breakthrough technologies that are going to have that profound impact. So hugely supportive of it.
The next I think to add to what was shared by Boya, simply put, industries, academia, one goes like HKSTP, Cyberport, the government with Duncan support. I think as we move this new area, there will be new rules, new regulations, some new legislation needs to be passed as well, because we are dealing with a whole new frontier of new technologies in here. What Boyan shared was all the formal connections that HSBC is doing, but then there's also the informal ones, right, where the smaller groups actually come together and you can have a bit more freedom in actually discussing the real problems that sometimes you don't want to air out in a formal session. I think those things are also quite important, and sometimes occasionally working with the technology partners in here, then those closed round door conversations actually help a lot in helping us all figure out what our positions are. I think this kind of things are already in Hong Kong. It's more of getting these meetings all together and getting some direction as well. Because cross-border data flows, what can we do and what can't we do? How do we protect our shareholders and our own interests? That's also hot on the topic. We were just chatting earlier about geopolitical. That's also something that's always top of agenda.
Absolutely. And Leo?
The collaboration is, there are several areas. Say the policy, the government is responsible for the policy and of course money, the funding. And the second is talents, because for university they are responsible for growing our good talent for the society and for the industry. And then we need to have collaboration, like for example for industry they can offer internship, they can tell the government what talent they need. And about the data, which is very essential to Gen AI and AI, then I think the government should have certain policy making in order to help to share the data among us. Of course, in industry, we always want to keep our data to ourselves, but I think we need to change our mindset. Probably if we can share our data with being anonymized, then we can share the data and then it can help the academia to do better research and inform the government what kind of policy should make to enhance the technology.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's the great thing about Hong Kong. It's definitely ripe for a collaboration between the three sectors. So, final question to our panelists, and we're in between keeping everyone from lunch and our answers, so let's, no pressure there. But if you could give one piece of advice to Hong Kong business leaders, which I feel a lot of them are actually seated in the audience today, on maximizing the benefits of large models, what would it be? Leo?
Even though I'm a technologist, how to maximize it is, I think, is we still keep human in the loop. Because I still think that we can't replace all the things and offload all the things to a robot or ChatGPT. It is augmenting the capability of a human. So I think, and the liability issue, we always need to say, if something is accurate or not, we still need a human to do all this. So more like we need to say is we need to keep the human to do the strategic planning and all these kind of checking things. But for those repetitive or just boring stuff, we can offload it to the robot or to the AI. So I think my advice is we still always keep the human in the loop.
Other thanks. As simply put, don't wait, start your journey now. I think that is the key message or key ask.
So for me to add to this, I would say have a balanced approach. So first and foremost, we all recognize the huge potential of this technology and what it's going to have on the industry, on us as individuals. And as business leaders, you should identify that potential and think about how you can apply this technology to solve some of your own needs for your business, for your industry, for your clients, for your stakeholders, shareholders, etc. But at the same time, understand the limitations. Understand the limitations that may influence your deployment timelines, that may influence how you deploy this technology, and understand what those considerations are. You should build internally a framework that allows you to identify the technology, allows you to experiment with the technology, and allows you to understand how you can apply it in a grand scale sense and make a difference to your business, but at the same time understand how to deploy it in a safe and secure manner. I would just say that there's a lot of hype around AI right now around the world, and you can see that all around us. We just need to, as business leaders, I feel that we just need to know what is real and what is currently limited, and be able to take business actions based on what is real and how we can influence ongoing progress.
Great, thank you so much. And let's just give a round of applause to our esteemed panelists for sharing their expertise. And I hope today's discussion has provided valuable perspectives and sparked new ideas on how we can collectively shape Hong Kong's future with AI. Can we just all stand up for a photo? Thank you.
Thank you for your introduction, Marcos and Hoyan, for the insightful and inspiring discussion. Please be seated.感谢几位嘉宾和我们分享了深刻的见解和经验，我们也非常期待看到人工智能在各行各业落地，并为大众带来更多益处。今天台上的环节已经到了尾声，我们邀请各位在会场外的展區繼續體驗商湯粵日新5.0的不同產品。今日嘅活動已近尾聲，再次感謝各位嘉賓同傳媒朋友出席。稍後大家可以去到會場外嘅展區體驗商湯嘅日新5.0唔同嘅產品。期望商湯科技繼續為大家帶來更多創新嘅 AI 技術。多謝大家，我哋下次見。
你食係咯，我要出去。因為其實商票係嘢講嘅出，我哋都要走。我把牌喂 very interesting。Hello。嗱，我一睇咧，我講到個 because 而家在 live
歡迎啱啱就已經完成咗呢一個商湯日日新5.0嘅而家去睇產品啦。
而家食飯啊！
去睇產品咪？
而家食飯啊！
呢個邊個咧？呢個咧係 KK 都喺度，阿 Thomas 喺度，仲有 Simon 喺度，係啦。
等你食飯。
咁啊，一陣間我訪問下佢哋啊。
除咗口罩嘅。
係啊，除咗口罩嘅 Simon一陣間訪問下，一陣間我會訪問下佢噶啦好啦，咁我哋今次嘅直播咧就完啦咁一陣間咧我都會係繼續咧就即係有機會問下啲問題嘅咁我會剪輯今次嗰個直播之後做影片如果有啲問題我問到翻嚟嘅話咧，我喺直播我喺另外一段片嗰陣時咧就會同大家咧再係分享下管理層一啲嘅意見啦，咁啊多謝大家。好啦，留意下一段片啦，好快有第二段片出嚟㗎啦，拜拜。